Hello, my name's Aaron Menlove. I'm with Inspector Pro Insurance. I've been an insurance agent here for about 13 years plus, as an insurer working with agents, helping inspectors do better work. And I've got some tips for you, 8 tips to help guys out. First tip, don't rush your writing. Don't rush your job. Boy, you see the guys that advertise the 3, 4, 5 inspections a day. That's crazy, right? Um, you should be 2 to 3 hours on each inspection, at least, depending on the size. Sloppy language, poor explanations, they don't help, right? Making sure you're taking the time to write correctly. You can even write the report the next day, right? A lot of times, guys are trying to write the report in their car or the truck outside at the inspection. It doesn't work out though, right? Let's take some more time to make this stuff work better for you. Take time to examine the photos, right? After the fact, the next day, that really helps out. And you can really look at them. It can affect your client's impression of you as well. If you're buried in your phone or other stuff, you're not able to answer questions because you're trying to complete those inspections all in one day and do too many, right? So that's the first tip. Let's don't rush the writing. Second, know what you're writing about. It seems basic, but the basics are something that you should be able to know. Okay. And to get your income and your business rolling, this is what you're going to need. If you aren't taking your training seriously or getting examined and doing the testing, then you're doing this on half baked knowledge, right? And I know we love to, represent ourselves and feel confident and everybody knows what they're looking at, but there's even the best of us can miss something and not know something that somebody else does know. Okay. So let's not go into this halfway. Let's go into full and make sure that we've got the training and the basics behind it. What should you learn? Everything from changes to building standards, property systems, components of all types, so that you can comment on the type of the home you're working with. You should have an inspection in a specific area with a year of the house that you're going to look at, and you should probably have an idea of the type of products in that house or what you're going to look at already. You should know what year it was built, as far as the background and everything else regarding the house, where you're expecting a certain foundation, a certain attic, a certain roof, and if you don't get that, you're kind of surprised, right? But you should already know that. Okay. And this is just on your background, your experience that you have. Again, continuing education classes are very important to help you stay sharp and never underestimate the importance of other inspectors to be able to help you out. It's okay to ask for help or ask for advice or ask for another inspector's opinion, even though you may have many years' experience. There's always someone who knows more than you, right? Know your writing template. Okay. So when new inspectors, they start to wonder which template or software to use, which is easier than others, right? You may be a new inspector looking at this. You may be an experienced inspector that has lots of experience with your software. Is this focused on writing a narrative and helping you to describe the situation? That's the most important thing in your software. Okay. Does it give you the freedom to do that? And that's what you want to have to do a little bit more than just putting a checkbox on conditions. Okay. Get familiar with the software, do some, if you're brand new and you haven't done anything, go inspect your neighbor's house, your house, do some tests, right? Check it out, see how it works. Cater to each report properly. Okay. Each report is going to be a little bit different than others. And this is going to be with the house you're expecting to, what type of a house you're going to be inspecting as well. Okay. Each report should be different as well. You're going to report on an old house is going to be very different than a new house, right? And it should be, right? The verbiage is going to be different. Don't get complacent. Find your software and a template that can easily help you edit, specify, make changes you want to do, and something you feel comfortable with. Okay. Stick to the facts. When you write inspections, you want to be sharing facts with the clients you're working with. Okay. So that they can take care of the house and make a good purchase or decision. If you see cracks in the foundation, don't start quoting potential estimates on this. That's not our job. You're an inspector. You're not giving other services. You're just going to put pass, fail, good, bad. Okay. Stick to the facts of what you see and the defects on the house. And you want to try to avoid picking out of future issues or problems that you think could happen. Write what you see now and the year of the age as far as that type of stuff. Okay. Our next tip, the sixth tip, is to be concise and understandable. You didn't get into home inspections because you love to write. You're not a writer. Okay. You still need to focus on the facts and the skills of writing a report. And so you do need to have some writing skills that'll help you out with this, right? Even though you're not a writer. Okay. Um, Common issue for a lot of inspectors, they want to convey fluff or unnecessary information. Maybe you feel like you need to fill in your report. If you're doing a full inspection and you're going through it correctly, you'll have plenty of information. You don't need any fluff in there. You don't need to put anything extra extraneous. Okay. Clients can get bogged down if you're putting information that's not concise and understandable. Put it in layman's language so they can understand what they're looking at. So if there's fixes or other stuff they have to do, they'll understand to do that. One of the best ways to avoid a writing problem is to focus on the required standards of practice for the state of the association you're working with. Focus on the systems, components, and the stuff that you'll be required to report on, and the fluff you can leave out. Any information that you personally want to talk about is also up to you. Above all, keep it simple. Most of your clients need certain defects in systems explained to them or phrased in a way that they can understand. We talked about that. They should be able to understand the problem based on what you write. The next tip is to take lots of photos. Photos are very important here, right? The info that you write and review in your report is especially going to be magnified or completed with the photos that you put together, especially if a client is going to make a complaint or try to sue you. It's your word against theirs. He said, she said, unless you have photos, right? Which are very different than having any of these other things. They're complaining about a crack in some wall or something, and you have a picture of the wall with no crack in it. There was no crack in there when you inspect it, right? So photos can help. And it's not just photos when you're looking at problems on a specific area. It's photos of a general room. You can take photos, and you should take photos of a general room, everything clean. It's very easy to do, easy to safe, right? Very easy to use, and it's very beneficial for your insurance to help make these problems go away and defend you. The eighth tip: focus on managing risk. A lot of guys are go running around writing a good report without thinking about the risk management. What could be a problem later? Manage risk by doing some of the following: don't shy away from the truth or soften the report. Okay, this is a big one, right? The real estate agent's telling you, "Hey, help me out on this one. Let's get this one passed for the client. Get this one sold." Help them on a couple of the problem areas and kind of gloss over it. And I'll give you 10 more inspections later on. Don't do it. It'll catch you. And it catches everybody. Talk to inspectors, and the guys that have thought about this or looked at it, they get burned. Okay. It's just a matter of time. So be truthful. Don't assume anything that you can't see. If you're worried about it, let them know the limitations, right? So make sure you're doing your due diligence. It's just a visual service only. It's not you're moving things around. You can't see behind the wall or anything like that. Use disclaimers thoughtfully. Recognize with common no notice problems are likely in a home. Okay. If it's a flipped house, you want to make sure that you could put that in there somewhere, right? There might be something you're not seeing that they fixed or something you can't see. State it at least once in your report is a good idea. What if you mess up and write a bad report? Well, we're all human. It's okay, right? We'll get through it together. Learn to do better and be professional about it. Take acknowledgement and try to do better next time. Have insurance? That's why you have insurance, right? You may get in a car accident. It might be an accident. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't their fault. It might have just been an accident, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be at fault, but you want to have insurance either way. It's a good idea. Okay. We have a link in the description. And boy, we'd love to talk with you some more about insurance. We have run a great program here, and we can help you with all this and more. Thanks, Aaron Minliff.